Hello students, in this video I'm going to continue the chapter statistics. This is the second class for you, and in this class I'm going to deal with problems on discrete frequency distribution. In the last class I told for you the different types of data. So there are two different types of data, grouped data and grouped data. And also I told for you in this chapter mainly we are going to deal with grouped data. So the two types of grouped data are, one is discrete frequency distribution, second one is continuous frequency distribution. The major difference between discrete and continuous is, in discrete frequency distribution, in the case of continuous frequency distribution, so in the xi column, means in the first column, so there will be class intervals. This is the major identification, major difference between discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. Discrete means only discrete values will be present, and continuous means there must be class intervals. And the second column is as usual frequency in both type of data. So now in this class majorly I'm going to deal with what? Discrete frequency distribution. I'm not going to talk about, and I'm not going to solve problems on continuous frequency distribution in this video. Okay, so now let us begin our class. First actually I'm going to show you, so first in this class I'm going to discuss the mean. Okay, so there are three measures of central tendencies. Among the three I'm going to discuss what? Mean, and mean particularly for discrete frequency distribution. So one thing you have to understand before that, so how to find out the mean for ungrouped data. When suppose he has given ungrouped data to you, how to find out the mean? It's actually very simple. Okay, so sum of all the observation divided by total number of observation, and I have given an example for you in the notes itself, and I'm going to show you the same example here. Okay, so now look at here. So mean is also called as, so now try to understand here one important terminology. Mean is also called as arithmetic mean. Okay, arithmetic mean or mean, both are one and the same. And the one more term is there. If there is a term average, it is also nothing but what? Mean. Okay, remember these three words. So these are the alternative words. That's why maybe in the examination he may ask like this, find the arithmetic mean. So then it is nothing but mean itself. Okay, mean, arithmetic mean, average. So both are one and the same. All the three are actually what? One and the same. So now the next thing is, so I'm going to show you an example for example of how to find out mean when the data is ungrouped. Okay, when the data is ungrouped. So look at here. So now I'm going to consider a mean of a ungrouped data. It is like this. It can be obtained by dividing the sum of all the observation by the total number of observation. And I have given an example for you. Now look at the example. If you look at the example, it will become very clear for you. So find the mean of the data. Okay, so here 1, 5, 3, 2, 7, 3, 9, 2, 1, 7. They are actually what? Data. It's a data. So here, so first you have to count how many data are present. Now look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there are 10 data. They are also called as observation actually. Okay, 10 observations are there, 10 data are there. So that's why the value of n becomes what? 10. Okay, so it indicates what? Total number of data, total number of observations. And to find out the mean, the formula is very simple. X bar is actually, remember one more terminology, X bar means it is a mean. Okay, symbolically we are going to indicate mean like this, X bar. X bar is there means it is actually what? Mean of the observation or mean of the data. So now look at here. In the numerator, what I am going to do, so I am going to take the sum of all these observations. Okay, look at here. So I am going to consider the sum of all the observation, okay, all the 10 observation, and in the denominator, what is present? In the denominator, 10 is present. What is 10 actually? Total number of observations. Okay, so now after that, okay, after taking the sum in the numerator and after taking what total number of observation in the denominator, so now look at it. The sum of all the observation is equal to how much? It is equal to 30. And in the denominator, total number of observation is equal to how much? 30. So now if you divide these two, 30 by 10 means you will get how much? You will get what? 3. So that's why mean of all these observations or mean of this data is equal to how much? 3. Okay. So this is actually the way to find out the mean of ungrouped data. So here it is not a grouped data because there is no frequency. Okay, remember, there is no frequency means it is ungrouped data. Remember, grouped data means there must be frequency actually. Okay, so it is an ungrouped data because there is no frequency, there is no grouping of the data like that. That's why it is actually called as ungrouped data, and this is the way to find out the mean of an ungrouped data. Remember this one. I have given only one question for you. If any question appears in the examination, follow the same procedure, you will get the mean of the data. Okay, so now I will move on to the discrete frequency distribution. Okay, how to find out the mean by discrete, how to find out the mean for it is a discrete frequency distribution. Okay, so now look at the first one, mean by direct method. Okay, so now look at here, mean can be calculated by two methods. Okay, so one is what? Direct method, and another one is actually what? Assumed mean method. But one more method is there, but it is not included in your syllabus, okay, this academic year. So just I am going to show you how to find out the mean by first one, direct method, and how to find out the mean by assumed mean method. Okay, if you use any method, okay, if you use direct method and if you use assumed mean method, answer almost all same. Okay, so it is always the same. If there is any difference, it should be very little. Okay, so it is very small, negligible. Okay, so always you will get same answer if you find out the mean by direct method and if you find out the mean by what? Assumed mean method. So and you have to learn both methods, but because in the examination he may ask particularly find the mean by direct method or find the mean by assumed mean method. If he has not asked like that, okay, suppose just he asked like this, find the mean, then you can use any method. Okay, so which is suitable, okay, or which is easier for you, you can use that method. Okay, so but the thing is you have to learn both methods. So that's why the first question I'm going to solve by direct method, and look at the question is like this. The marks obtained by 30 students of class 10 of a certain school in mathematics, in a mathematics paper consisting of 100 marks, are presented in table below. Find the mean of the marks obtained by the student, and the data is actually like this. This is actually an example question from your NCERT textbook. It's already solved one. Okay, so and I'm going to solve this one by direct method. Okay, so now I will move on to the solution. Before going to the solution, just look at the data. So now look at here, marks obtained indicated by XI means the first column is actually what? Data. First column always indicates what? Data. So what actually here? Okay, so 10 and something like this. So these are all actually called as what? Data. And the second column, number of students, and he is going to indicate by Fi. Okay, and this is actually called as what? This is actually frequency. Remember, okay, the first row is always represents what? Data, and the second row represents frequency. Okay, so this is same for all type of problem, for all the problems, and remember this one. And just if you look at the problem, I think you can understand here there are no class interval. It is not a class interval. Okay, it is just a discrete value, so that's why it is a discrete frequency distribution. Now look at the solution. So the first thing you have to write on the table. Okay, so now look at the table. I have written like this. In the first column, okay, so this is the first column. In this column I have written actually what? Xi means what? Data. Okay, so this is actually given in the problem itself, and the second column is actually what? Fi means what? It is frequency. Okay, it is actually given in the problem itself, and I have written here. Okay, frequency. So now the next process is actually very important. Now look at the third column. It is like this: Fi into Xi. So Fi into Xi means what? You need to multiply Fi and Xi, okay, in each row. Now look at here. Here 10 is there. 10 into 1. You need to calculate like this, okay. And after that 20 into 1. Okay, it will become 20 like that. So before that you have to do one important thing. So it is actually, now look at here, this is actually what? Frequency. Okay, so now you need to take the sum of all these frequencies. Okay, so means the sum of this column, second column, sum of the second column. You need to note down this one. So first let us note down what is the sum of this first column, and it will become like this. If you take the sum, this one I'm going to give you directly, you will get 30. So this is because here they are actually collected what? Data of 30 students. So that's why summation Fi, it will become 30. Okay, it is denoted by the sum of this column is actually denoted by summation Fi, and which is equal to 30. Remember this one. This is the value. Actually we require this one in the formula actually. So now the next thing is to develop the third column. So third column can be obtained like this by multiplication. 10 into 1, it will become 10. So 20 into 1, it will become 20. 36 into 3. Okay, you need to calculate this one. Okay, so now look at here. I'm going to calculate here. So just look at here. I think you can understand this one. So now look at here. 10 into 1. Okay, it will become how much? 10. In the same sense, 20 into 1, it will become 20. And then 36 into 3, it will become what? On multiplication, you will get 108. In the same sense, 40 into 4, 160. 50 into 3, 150. Okay, in the same sense, 56 into 2, 112, and then 60 into 4, 240. In the same sense, you need to calculate up to the last data, and frequency 95 into 1 is equal to 95. So now the next step is you need to take the sum of this column, means so sum of all these numbers you need to count. Okay, if you count this one, and you will get like this. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer directly, and you need to count 1779. Okay, so this is actually the table for direct method. Remember this one. Okay, in the direct method, Xi Fi will be given to you, and you need to calculate the third column, Fi into Xi, and the sum of that column. Okay, summation Fi Xi, and sum of all the frequencies, it is denoted by summation Fi. Okay, so now look at the formula. We know that what? For direct method there is a formula, and assumed mean method there is another formula. So for direct method, what is the formula for mean? X bar is equal to summation Fi Xi divided by summation Fi. Okay, so now we have calculated summation Fi Xi, numerator summation Fi Xi, it is already calculated here. Okay, and the denominator is summation Fi, and it is also calculated here. Just you need to substitute and simplify. Okay, so on substitution you will get 1779 divided by 30. On division you will get X bar is equal to 59.3. Okay, you need to divide this one, and finally you will get what? 59.3, and that's why the mean marks of the students is 59.3, and this completes the solution. So I think I hope the problem is very clear for you. So direct method means table should be like this. Remember, so in direct method, 3 columns will be there. First column Xi, second column is actually what? Frequency. So first 2 columns will be given in the problem itself. You need to generate only one column, that is what? Fi into Xi. Remember, you need to calculate this one. Okay, and also what? Summation Fi. So after generating the third column, you will get what? Summation Fi into Xi is equal to what? Okay, like this. So, and after that you need to substitute in the formula. So then after simplification you will get, so what is the mean? That is X bar. Remember, X bar is nothing but mean also. You can also write on mean in place of X bar. This completes the solution of the first question. So now I will move on to the next question. So look at the next question. here I'm going to deal like this, mean by assumed mean method. Okay, so in the last problem I have found out mean by what direct method, but here I'm going to deal with assumed mean method. So now look at here, the problem is like this. The table shows the weight of 12 students. Okay, it is like this. Data, first column weight in kg, means the first column is actually what, it is data, means it is xi actually. Okay, and second column is number of students, means it is actually what, frequency. Okay, I told for you earlier, first column is always data, second column is always frequency. Remember this one. So but I'm going to solve this one by actually by which method, assumed mean method, and also find the mean weight by using shortcut method or assumed mean method. In the earlier class I told for you, shortcut method and assumed mean method both are one and the same, remember. Now let us look at the solution of this one. You have to write on the table. Okay, so look at the table. This is actually the table for assumed mean method. Remember, what is the difference between direct method and assumed mean method? In the direct method, you have to generate one column apart from xi and fi, but here there are two columns. Okay, now let us see what are those two columns and how we have to develop those two columns. Let us look at the table now. Okay, so xi means data, it is actually given in the problem itself, and I have written everything. And the second column is actually frequency, it is actually given in the problem itself. I have to write on as it is. Okay, so now the next thing is what I told in the previous problem, the same step. You need to take the sum of this column, frequency column. Okay, if you take the sum of the frequency column, you will get summation fi. Summation fi will become what, 4 plus 3 7, 7 plus 2 9, 9 plus 1 10 plus 2 12. Okay, summation fi is equal to how much? It will become 12. Okay, so now the next step is very important. Look at the third table. Third table is like this. Di is equal to xi minus a. You need to calculate this one. So just remember, it will not be asked in the examination. D stands for deviation. Okay, deviation. Here we are going to calculate deviation of each data from assumed mean. So and here xi is there actually. Di is equal to xi minus a. Xi means what? Here are the values of xi. Okay, these are all the xi. Okay, so the first one is x1, second one is x2, third one is x3, x4, x5, like that. I means it is a suffix, it takes the values 1 2 3 4 5 like that. Okay, so in general we are going to indicate xi. And now what is a? A is very important. What is a? A is the assumed mean. Okay, so now how can we choose assumed mean here? What is assumed mean and how to choose that one? Okay, it is a number actually. Okay, so remember one thing. So from the column xi, okay, look at the numbers present in the column xi. Among these numbers, you can choose any one as assumed mean. Okay, so means that here there are how many numbers, how many data are there, xi in the column xi, how many values are there? 1 2 3 4 5. So among these 5 values, you need to choose one number as a, that is assumed mean. It is your choice. If you choose any number, finally you will get the same answer. Okay, if you choose the first number, you will get the same answer. If you choose the last number 75 as a, you will also get the same answer finally. Okay, and if you choose the middle one, then also you will get the same answer. But in your NCERT textbook, he is always goes to choose the middlemost value. Here totally how many values are there in the xi column? 5 values. So middle value means it will become how much? 72. Okay, he is going to choose 72 as assumed mean. Okay, then he is going to continue the problem. So but I'm not going to use choose the middlemost value, because there is a possibility to do mistake, because if you choose the middlemost value in the di column and fi di column, some negative numbers will appear. Okay, look at the textbook and how they have solved the question. In the di fi column, negative numbers will appear and there is a possibility to do mistakes. Okay, so many students definitely do mistakes if you choose the middlemost value. So for this reason, to avoid the negative sign, I am going to choose the first number in the xi column as assumed mean. Look at here, it is 67. So means I'm going to choose the smallest number in the xi column. It will be in the first number. It will be the first number always. Okay. So that's why I'm going to choose what 67 as assumed mean, and you have to write on this one. Let the assumed mean be small a is called as assumed mean, and it should be equal to what 67 like this. So now the next thing is, look at here, you need to calculate what a is equal to what 67. That's why in the next line once again I have written di is equal to xi minus 67. In the next step you need to do like this. Look at here, xi means put 67 minus 67. It is actually fixed number, don't change this one. You need to change only what xi, okay, from one row to next row. So but keep a value fixed for all the rows. Remember this one, it is very important. So now I'm going to do like this. Xi means 67 minus 67 is the a value, it is fixed, it will become what 0. So in the same sense, if you move on to the second row, xi becomes 70 minus 67, okay, 70 minus 67, it will become what 3 like this. Okay, you need to calculate like this. Okay, now look at here, I'm going to calculate here 67 minus 67, it will become what 0. Okay, so next second one 70 minus 67, okay, and it will become what 3. Okay, next one 72 minus 67, okay, 72 minus 67 means you will get 5. So next one 73 minus 67, okay, you will get 6. And then 75 minus 67, okay, so from one row to next row I'm going to change the value of xi only, but I'm going to keep the value of a as it is 67. Okay, 75 minus 67 is equal to how much 8. Okay, so this is the way to calculate the third column called as deviation. Remember this one. Now look at the third column, all the numbers are positive. Okay, so but and one more thing, okay, if you choose this one as a assumed mean, and deviation for this one, it will become always 0, because it will become 67 minus 67. So that's why one value must be 0 in the column di. Okay, so now the next thing is, look at the third column. It is like this, fi into di. Fi into di means this is the frequency column, and you need to multiply frequency for what di. So that's why you need to multiply second column and third column, and you have to write down in the last column, that is called as what fi into di. So now look at here, I'm going to multiply these two columns. So the first one is 4 into 0, it will become what 0, and the second one 3 into 3, it will become what 9. Okay, and the third one 2 into 5, it will become how much 10, and then 2 into 6, okay, it will become how much 12, and the last column 1 into 8, it will become how much, it will become 8. Okay, like this. This is the fourth column. So this is the procedure how to develop the table in assumed mean method. Remember, here one column is added, you need to calculate a di is equal to xi minus a means assumed mean. How to choose the assumed mean? So choose the first number in the xi column as assumed mean, then you need to calculate xi minus a, you will get the third column. After that, to get the fourth column, you need to multiply frequency and deviation, fi di. On multiplication you will get fi di column, and the next step is you need to take the sum of last column, that is fi di column. So it's 0, okay, leave it is 1. Okay, so 10 plus 9 19, and then it will 21 31. So 31 plus 8 means it will become how much 39. So that's why this sum will become how much 39. So now the remaining thing is actually what, just write on the formula, substitution, simplification. Okay, so now look at here, I am going to write on the data what I have got up to here. Summation fi is 12, it is in the table. Summation fi di, it is in the last sum of the last column of the table 39, and small a is equal to 67. Okay, it is very important because in the formula you need to substitute assumed mean. Okay, that's why the value of a is also important. It is already written earlier. Once again I'm going to write on, and I'm going to write on the formula to find out the mean by, this is the formula to find out mean by assumed mean method. Okay, so now I'm going to substitute all these values. A means what 67, Okay, value of A is equal to 67. Summation Fi di is equal to 39. Summation Fi is equal to the sum of the frequency column 12. Okay, if you calculate first, if you divide 39 by 12, you will get 3.25, and adding this one to 67, you will get how much? 70.25. So therefore the mean of the given data is actually what? 70.25. So here actually it is a data is actually what? It is a what a weight. Okay, there is a unit for this one. If there is no unit, there is no need to write on the unit at the end. But if there is a specific unit, if it is mentioned in the given data, then it is better to write, otherwise you will lose the marks. That's why here it is the data is weight. Finally, so what is the unit of data? The same will be carried for mean also. That's why mean weight of the students is 70.25 kg. So this completes the solution of this question, and I will move on to the next question here. Look at here, missing frequencies. Okay, so the first two question, in the first two question, he will give the data for you and he may ask to find out what is the mean. But it is the reverse case. Here mean will be given to you, data is also given to you. Okay, data will be given to you and mean will be given to you, but in the data he is going to miss one frequency or two frequency. Okay, there are two different types of problems here. Is going to miss the frequency in the table, only one frequency. Okay, and the rest of the things, that is the frequencies and data will be given to you, and mean also will be given to you. No need to calculate mean here. You need to find out what one of the frequency is missed. Actually you need to find out that one. Look at the table, I think you can understand. This is the fifth question. Find the value of f if the mean of the following distribution is 7.5. so mean is already given to you. Look at here, mean means x bar 7.5, it is already given to you. Okay, so but look at the table is also given to you. So that's why in the first column all the xi's are given. Okay, he's not going to miss the in the first column. So even though he missed the xi column also, one number, we can find out that one. Okay, in the same sense, look at the second column. Here these frequencies are given to you, and here the two more frequencies are given to you. So but look at here, the fourth frequency in this table. Okay, so this is a fourth frequency, but it is unknown. You need to find out this one. This is called as what? Missing frequency. So now this type of problems are also asked in the examination, and they are also very important, and you need to understand how to find out this one. Okay, now I will move on to the solution. So the same thing, you have to write on the table as it is. Okay, so now one more important thing, you can solve this problem either by direct method or by assumed mean method. Remember, so solving this type of problem by direct method is very easy. Okay, very simple, and there is no possibility to do mistake. Okay, it is not so complicated. So that's why I'm going to use direct method. If you want to use assumed mean method, you can use the method and you will get the same answer. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to solve by the missing frequency problems by direct method. So look at the table, I have written all these things. What is the first step you have to do in this method? Okay, so first you have to take the sum of the frequency column. So now look at here, first you need to take the sum of these three numbers and then take the sum of these these two numbers. Okay, so I'm going to leave the f because it is actually unknown. How can you add with this one number? It's impossible. Just you need to write on plus f like that. Okay, so now look at here. So 8 plus 6 14, 14 plus 5 19, and then 29. So 29 plus 8 means 37, 37 plus 4 means 41. Okay, so now look at here, the sum will become 41 and you need to add this one f. It will become what? 41 plus f. You need to write on like this. Remember, you have to write on like this. Okay, leave f as it is and take the sum of remaining frequencies and write on the sum plus and then write on f as it is. So this is the way how to take the sum of the frequency column in this type of problem. Remember this one. Okay, So now the next step is the same thing, okay, what we have did in the earlier problem, that is direct method. The same thing also carries here. Now look at here, multiplication fi into xi. Look at here, 3 into 6, okay, you need to calculate 3 into 6, it will become what, 18. And the second one, 5 into 8, it will become what, 40. And the third one, 7 into 15, okay, it will become what, 105. And the fourth column, okay, so 9 into f, it is very important, 9 into f, it will become 9f. 11 into 8, 88. And 13 into 4, it will become 52. Okay, remember, so if there is a f means unknown, so 9 into f, it will become 9f. You need to write down like this, 9 into f, it will become what, 9f, like that. Okay, so now what is the next step? You need to take the sum of the sum of the lost column. Okay, so the sum of lost column, here also the same thing will happen. You need to take the sum of these three numbers and again the sum of these two numbers. Okay, take the sum of these numbers and write down the sum whatever you got, and after that you need to write on what, plus 9f. Okay, here it is a variable, we can't add this one with its numbers, so that's why you need to write on. If you take the sum of 5 numbers, okay, 3 plus 2, 5 numbers, you will get 303, and plus 9f is there, 303 plus 9f, write on like this. Okay, so this is the way how to take the sum of the frequency column and the last column, that is fi xi column. So now summation fi is equal to what, 41 plus f. Summation fi xi is equal to 303 plus 9f. Now the next step is you have to write down, so whatever the data you got up to here, summation fi and summation fi xi, and one more important thing, mean is given in the problem itself. Okay, so till now I have written what is the value of mean, just now I have written a mean is equal to 7.5. What is the next step? So write on the formula, mean is equal to summation fi xi divided by summation fi. So next you need to substitute here, mean is equal to what, 7.5. okay, and summation fi xi means 303 plus 9f, and summation fi means 41 plus f. Okay, I have substituted all the three terms. Now what is the next step? Means the remaining step, just simplification. If you simplify this equation, you will get the required answer. Okay, so now look at, in the next step I'm going to cross multiply this 41f towards the left hand side. It will become 7.5 into 41 plus f. Okay, 7.5 into 41 plus f is equal to 303 plus f. 303 plus, sorry, I think I have made mistake here actually. So this is actually 9f. I forgot to write on the 9 here. Okay, so you need to make correction here. Okay, here actually what, 9 is present. Okay, so here it is actually 9f. Okay, remember here 9f. Okay, then 303 plus 9f. Okay, 303 plus 9f. Now you need to multiply 7.5 for 41 and 7.5 for f. It will become 7.5 f1 f. Actually on multiplication 7.5 to 41, you will get like this, 307.5 plus 7.5 into f is equal to 303 plus 9f. Now the next step is you need to separate the constant term one side, and you need to separate the terms which contain f. Okay, look at the next step. I'm going to shift what, now look at here, 7.5 is there. I'm going to shift 9f towards the left hand side, it will become minus 9f, and shift 307 towards the left hand side, it will become minus 307.5. So in the next step, so 7.5 f minus 9f means minus 1.5 f, and here 303 minus 307.5 means it will become minus 4.5. So and you can cancel minus and minus here. In the next step, 1.5 f is equal to 4.5. Okay, if you cancel minus and minus. In the next step, I'm going to shift 1.5 towards the means cross multiplication is actually 4.5 divided by 1.5. 4.5 divided by 1.5 means you will get f is equal to what, 3. So that's why finally the unknown frequency or the missing frequency is equal to how much? It is equal to 3 actually. So this is the way to find out. This is the way how to find out the missing frequency in the given data. So remember this one, always follow direct method. It is better. Okay, don't follow assumed mean method. And in the problem also, he will not ask do this one by particular method like that. Just he will ask find the missing frequency, and it is your choice to choose the direct method or the selection of the method is left for you. So that's why, and it is very best, okay, it is very easy if you select direct method. And this is the way how to find out the frequency, missing frequency. Only one missing frequency is there. Suppose if only one missing frequency is there, you have to solve like this. Okay, so now in the next question I'm going to solve the same type of question, but here, so there are two missing frequency. Look at the question, I think you can understand. So now look at the question. Find the missing frequencies, okay, frequencies in the following frequency distribution if it is known that the mean distribution is 1.46. Mean distribution means it is nothing but mean actually. Mean is already given to you. It's equal to 1.46. Okay, and you need to find out the missing frequencies. Frequencies because there are two missing frequencies. That's why. Okay, now look at here, F1 and F2. So there are two unknowns. You need to find out both F1 and F2. I'm going to apply the same method, direct method. Okay, so here the procedure becomes lengthy. Procedure means the calculation steps will become lengthier here because there are two frequencies. And one more important thing you have to observe, in the previous problem where only one of the frequency is missed, it has not given summation Fi. But look at here, look at the last column, total 200. What is actually this total 200? So this 200 is equal to what? Summation Fi. Look at here, summation Fi is already given to you, means he has given how many data are there, how many observations are there. It is already given to you. How many observations are there? There are 200 observation. If you compare, if you go to the last problem, he has not given this one in the previous question. So this is the major difference between if there is a one unknown frequency and if there are two unknown frequencies, then summation Fi will be given to you. If there is only one unknown frequency, then he will not summation Fi for you. Okay, here summation Fi is equal to 200. It is exactly given to you. Okay, so if he has not given this one, it is very difficult to solve this one. Remember this one. Okay, so now just look at the solution. Okay, so now the first thing you have to write on the table as it is. Okay, the table which is related to what? Direct method. Okay, I have written all the things what it has given in the problem itself. The first column xi 0 1 2 3 4 5, the frequency column is actually like this, and here F1 and F2 are unknown frequencies. What is the first step? You need to take the sum of the frequencies. Okay, means the sum of the second column. Look at here, you need to take a sum of 46, 25, 10 and then 5. Okay, then you need to write on what? Plus F1 plus F2, because here there are two unknowns. So that's why now look at here, if you take the sum of 46, 25, 10 and 5, you will get 86. After that F1 and F2 are there, so that's why how to write on this one? 86 plus F1 plus F2. You need to write on like this, 86 plus F1 plus F2. Here there are two unknowns, but in the previous problem only one unknown is there. Okay, so that's why in the problem just we have written F. Here there are two unknowns, that's why F1 F2 like that. Okay, so what is the next step? So next step is very simple, just multiplication Fi into Xi. Okay, so first one, look at here, 0 into 46. 0 into 46 means it is always becomes what? 0. The second one, 1 into F1. 1 into F1 means it will become F1. And the third one, 2 into F2. 2 into F2 means it will become what? 2F2. And the next one, 3 into 25. 3 into 25 means how much? 75. 4 into 10, it will become what? 40. And the last one, 5 into 5, it will become what? 25. So now, what is the next step? You need to take the sum of Fi Xi column. Okay, you need to take the sum of Fi Xi column, but in the Fi Xi column there are two unknowns which involves F1 and F2. You need to write on those two terms as it is, and you have to take the sum of the remaining terms. Okay, remaining terms means you need to take 0 means there is no need to consider this one, just if you consider this one. Okay, so it will become what? 115 and then 120, 130. Okay, 130 plus F1 plus 2F2. So this is the sum of, okay, I think 140 actually. Okay, 7 plus 70, 110. 110. Okay, 130, 140, it will become 140 plus f1 plus f2. Okay, so this is the way how to take the sum of the lost column. Remember this one. Okay, so there appears two unknowns. Okay, that's why here it will become there are three terms are there in the summation fy. Also there are three terms. And now the next thing is mean is already given to you, and one more data is given to you. What is that data? Total 200. Okay, what I told 200 means what? Summation fy. Okay, it's very important. So now look at here, I'm going to use that one what he has given, that is a summation fy is equal to 200. I'm going to write on that one, summation fy is equal to 200. So now here summation fy is there. Okay, but I have got summation fy is equal to like this, 86 plus f1 plus f2. I'm going to substitute that one here. Okay, in the place of summation fy into summation fy, in the place of summation fy I'm going to substitute the same thing. Okay, I have substituted here, and the right side 200 write on as it is. Okay, so the remaining steps are simplification. Shift 86 towards the right side, 200 minus 86, and then f1 plus f2 is equal to 114. 200 minus 86 means you will get 114, and you have to denote this one as equation number 1. This is actually what? Equation number 1. So now the next step is I'm going to write on the mean. It is already given to you. That's why mean is equal to 1.46. Okay, so now mean is given to you. Okay, so summation fy is given to you. It is equal to what? How much? 200. And summation fy xi is calculated just now. It is equal to like this. Okay, so 140 plus f1 plus f2, and you have to write on what now? Formula. Okay, so look at the formula. Mean is equal to summation fy xi divided by summation fy. Okay, so this is a formula from direct method. So now the substitution, mean is equal to 1.46. Summation fy xi means what? 140 plus f1 plus 2f2, and divided by summation fy is there. So in this case, don't write on this one. Okay, don't write on 86 plus f1 plus f2. Don't write down this one. Okay, so what we have to write on here? Here you have to write on summation fy is equal to 200. You know this value. Okay, you need to write on 200 here. Remember, don't do mistake here. Here you have to write on summation fy. But in the previous problem, it is not given to you. So that's why I have written what I have got here. Okay, but here don't do like that. It is given to you already. So that's why I'm going to write on 200. Okay, so now the next step is simplification. I think you can understand this one. 1.46 into 200 cross multiplication, and write on the numerator as it is. 1.46 into 200, you will get 292 is equal to 140 plus f1 plus 2f2, and if you shift 140 towards the left side, it will become 292 minus 140 is equal to f1 plus 2f2, and on simplification 150 is equal to f1 plus 2f2. Okay, you will get like this, f1 plus 2f2 is equal to 152, and denote this one as equation number 2. So now to find out f1 and f2, we have to do what? You need to solve equation number 1 and equation number 2. If you solve these two equations, you will get one of the unknown, either f1 or f2. After that, we can find out the remaining one more unknown frequency. So now look at here. Okay, the same thing is as it is. Okay, equation 1 and equation 2. So now I'm going to do like this. Okay, look at here, equation 2 and equation 1 are there. I'm going to do like this, equation 2 minus equation 1. Means I'm going to subtract here equation 2 minus equation 1. So it will become what? So now look at here, equation 2 means, okay, so equation 2 means here it is actually like this. Equation 2 is f1 plus 2f2 is equal to 152. Okay, and equation 1 means f1 plus f2 is equal to 114. You need to write on like this. First write on equation 2 and then write on equation number 1. So now the next thing is you need to change the sign here, but actually I have not mentioned this one, but actually you need to write on this one. Okay, so now look at here, I'm going to now look at here, f1 means its sign is actually what? Positive. I'm going to change this one to negative like this. Okay, you need to change like this. And here f2 is also positive, and here also you need to change this one to what? Negative. And here the last term 114, it is actually positive, and you need to change this one to negative. Okay, so remember this one. Actually this type of calculation, I think you have experienced this one in the chapter polynomial. So while dividing the polynomial by the factor or the divisor, so you have followed this method, changing sign while subtracting, like that, the same method. Okay, so now look at it. If you change the sign, and here you can cancel f1 and f1 here, because this is plus f1, this is minus f1, these two will get cancel each other. And look at here, 2f2 minus f2, what is your answer? F2 plus F2. And here 152 minus 114. Okay, here it will become how much? 120 and then 32 and then 38. Okay, you will get what? 38. And look at here, I'm going to write on the same thing. 38 I have already written here. Okay, so 38. Okay, in the left hand side you will actually get what? In the left hand side you will get like this. So what? 2f2 minus f2, you will get what? Just f2. F2 is equal to how much? 38. So that's why. So now we have got what? One of the unknown. Okay, that is f2. F2 is equal to how much? 38. So now you need to calculate what? F1. How to calculate F1? If F2 is already known, means if you put the value of F2 in equation number 1 or in equation number 2, okay, so it's your choice, you can choose any one. So either in 1 or 2, if you substitute the value of F2, you will get what is the value of F1. Okay, so now look at here, I'm going to choose the equation number 1 because it is very simple, that's why. So now look at here, equation number 1. Okay, I'm going to substitute F2 is equal to 38 in equation number 1. So, okay, I'm going to substitute F2 is equal to 38 in equation 1. Okay, it will become what? F1 plus F2 is equal to 114. Okay, equation number 1. And I'm going to substitute here F2 is equal to what? 38 here. F2 is equal to 38. F1 plus 38 is equal to 140. And if you shift 38 towards the right side, 114 minus 38. Okay, if you subtract this one, you will get F1 is equal to how much? 76. Okay, this is the way how to find out two unknown frequencies. Okay, just remember the method. So direct method, the same procedure will be carried here, but the important thing is summation F5 will be given to you in this problem. Okay, so summation F5 is equal to something will be given to you, and you will get summation F5 is equal to something from the table, and you need to equate those two. After simplification, you will get one equation. Okay, that is equation number 1. After that, you have to write on the formula and substitute the data what you have calculated up to from the table and mean. Okay, everything. If you substitute everything and on simplification, you will get second equation, equation number 2. Okay, and if you solve those two equations, you will get what is the value of F1 and F2. Okay, so this is the way how to solve the problem when there are two missing frequencies over there. Okay, so remember this one. So these type of problems I have given for you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the problems what I have given to you. So now look at here, I have given actually what I have showed this one actually what example problem. Okay, it's already actually over, and the next thing is and don't write this one. Okay, the formula and up to here. Okay, up to here don't write anything, and you can write on this table and don't write on the last two tables. Okay, don't write on these two tables. Okay, last two columns. Don't write these two columns because they are actually related to what the method that called as step deviation method. It is already removed from your syllabus. That's why actually I told for you don't write this one. Okay, last two columns, and write on the remaining columns as it is. Okay, so now the next thing is these are the problems on discrete frequency distribution. So the first problem is already solved. Okay, and the second question is an homework for you, and the answer is already given to you. It's equal to 9. And the third question, it's actually I have solved this one, and the fourth question, it is actually an exercise for you. Okay, so you need to solve this one. And the fifth question, so this is actually related to missing frequency. I have solved this one, so that's why I have not given the answer to you. And the sixth question is actually related to what? Missing frequency. Only one missing frequency. Answer should be equal to 8. In the question number 7, actually now look at here actually frequency is not missed, but xi is actually missed. Okay, here it is p. Okay, but just if you observe the question 10, 15, it should be maybe equal to 20, 25, 30. Okay, but actually your guess is correct, it should be equal to 20, but you have to show this one by the procedure. Okay, follow the same method and you will get the what is the value of p. Okay, follow the same method, same procedure. Okay, what I have solved in the question number 6, sorry, question number 5. Follow the same method and you will get the answer for the question number 7 also, and it should be equal to 20. And in the question number 8, it is already solved for you. Now look at here, actually I have marked like this. Okay, so because someone treat 200 as one of the frequency, and they are going to solve the problem like that, so that's why I'm going to shade here. But in the examination he will not do like this, but just remember here. Okay, in the question number 9, I have given one question for you. So like this, to solve what when two unknown frequencies are there, and look at here, the answer for this question should be equal to 28 and 24. Okay, so now up to the question number 9 you need to solve today, and tomorrow I'm going to continue the class from continuous frequency distribution. And I'm going to stop the class now. Thank you, one and all.